Good evening. Hello Facebook, hello Instagram, hello YouTube, hello everyone watching this. I am Kyle, the Crystalline Mage. It is Wednesday, the 1st of September. It is about 7:30 in the evening Perth time. And I'm just going to wait for people to roll into this live. I will be talking about the new moon coming up next week on Tuesday, and a little bit of preparation work that we can all do. And bear with me, I should be all good now. Good morning, good evening. Oh, hello, are we here? Is it working? Oh my god. Sorry everyone, having some internet issues. Should be back, bear with me. Hello, hello. Sorry everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let me know. How are we? Good evening. Thank you for joining in. I hope we are well. Sorry about those internet issues. Just had to get things working properly. I'm Kyle, Crystalline Mage, and I'm going to be talking about new moon preparations, some crystals that you could be working with, and I wanted to give you a bit of time because the last couple of moon cycles have been quite a lot of energy. Let's see if... Hello. Are we working? Can you see me? Is this... Hopefully this is behaving. If not... all pixelated. Oh no. Let me see if I can't figure this out. Bear with me. Hopefully this will work better. Can you hear me and see me all fine? We're good. We're working. Now we can breathe. Okay. Hi everyone. Good evening or good morning or good afternoon. Whatever time of the day it is for you or night. It is Tuesday evening here in Perth, Wednesday evening here in Perth. It's the 1st of September. It's officially a brand new season. It's officially a brand new month. We are officially 2/3 of the way through the year, which means we have 1/3 of the way left. So this means the new moon coming up next Tuesday is quite an important one, and it feels like a good one to be working with. And I felt like we'd have a bit of a chat to talk about the energies around it and some crystals to work with. Does that sound good? Hi there, people on Facebook. Hello Instagrammers. How are we? So basically, this new moon, it's quite a nice shift of energy because it's going to be a new moon in Virgo. So we're coming out of all of this fire and air energy that we've been working with the Leo Aquarius. It's been a lot. So it's a really nice shift into earth, a really nice shift into a bit of practicality, a bit of stability. But also it's a really great time to be putting our dreams and goals and desires and wishes into action in a practical way. So this new moon in Virgo is really about what are we doing, why are we doing it, and how are we going to make it happen? What are the steps forward? What are the steps we need to put in play? What's the stuff that we can do right now that's in front of us? And what's the stuff that's going to take a little bit longer? Does that make sense? The earth energy of Virgo is very much connected to what the individual wants and needs. Very much connected to our earthly desires, our material desires, family, home, friends, work, money, living a life that we want to live. And very practically, there's a lot of pressures on a lot of us. So it means that we have to kind of work with baby steps, work with little bits and pieces to move forward. Does that sort of make sense? It's a time to sort of allow the bigger hopes and dreams their time to formulate, their time to make it work out in the best way possible for you. But generally, we need to just do a bit of work. We need to just do a bit of practical stuff. We need to do a bit of simple. We need to kind of let the universe do its thing. Does that make sense? We need to release the reins a little bit, surrender a little bit, let go, kind of give the universe a chance to do its thing for you. Like, really let it do its thing. Does this make sense, everyone? It's kind of, it can be a hard one, because when we're trying to manifest and create and do all of that, we're so connected to it. We're so involved in it, right? So sort of releasing the reins can be a really scary thing, can be a very challenging ordeal. So it's a really great time to, as I said, just focus on simple, practical, what's in front of you, things, and it's going to make things a lot easier. I hope that makes sense, everyone. Does anyone have any questions on this new moon, what it means, and anything else before I move on to some crystals? Because this will hit those in the Northern Hemisphere differently to us in the Southern Hemisphere. So yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I will move on and talk about some crystals. And there is a fairly common theme that you will see. Just seeing if there's anything else that I need that's in front of me. But if no one has any questions, I shall talk about some crystals for you. Very simply, there's always one crystal that we work with for the new moon. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Having Virgo moon as my moon sign. So because Virgo is your moon, I would imagine you may feel more emotional. You may actually be hit more in the emotional center because your moon is kind of that emotional representation of yourself. I would also think it could feel, I would imagine, like, intuitively quite empowering. Like, because of the psychic side of the moon, your Virgo being in the moon, or connecting to the new moon, it could actually be a good time to sort of be inspired for yourself as well. Hello, hello, good evening. Hello to those just joining in. Thank you very much. It is the 1st of September, and we're talking about the new moon, which is happening next week on the 6th, 7th, Tuesday. No worries. Hello, hello. So that first crystal that I'm going to talk about is, of course, labradorite. Labradorite is our stone of the new moon. It is a stone of psychic activation, spiritual activation. It is a stone of bringing out from within that which is already latent. It is a stone of tapping into you, your special gifts, and all of that good stuff. So working with labradorite is always a good idea with the new moon, but specifically program it and work with it with the idea that it's helping you to bring out more practical, more practical based stuff to help you to move forward. I would also innovate. Think about the idea of innovation and doing things in a new way, thinking about things in a new way as well. Very important, very important. Your labradorite is cleansed with the new moon, so pop it out under the new moon as well if you want to give it a cleanse, or if you have some that needs a cleanse. It will greatly appreciate it. I would also recommend thinking about giving yourself a chance to create a little bit of a ritual. It happens at 8:51 a.m. Perth time, so that means those of you sort of in the UK, it'll be in the middle of the night. and further behind in the US, it'll be in the evening as well. So think about doing something the night before if you need to. Do your own little ritual of creation of new moon, or do it the night. If you're in Perth, the evening of the 7th, and you can utilize the energy 24 hours either side of the peak if it falls at an awkward time. So think about, very importantly, I've made it awkward for myself by putting things on it. But start a brand new journal. It's got nothing in it. Because it's a new month, because it's a new season, because it's a new beginning, because it's like, it really is fresh and new. It's a really great time to actually have something brand new to work with. So actually get a brand new journal. Start fresh with just journaling, whatever it is that you need to write down every day, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're dealing with. Utilize that to help you to be clear on your desires, on your wishes, on your manifestations, on all of that. On all of that sort of stuff, because it's going to give you that ability to reflect, that ability to use yourself as a sounding board, that ability to sort of get things out of here, see them clearly on paper, and give yourself a bit of clarity. So get yourself, this is something that's like a couple of bucks, $5 or $6. So something that you can get is super cheap and affordable, and it's a really great way of just giving yourself that extra bit of clarity. We all need it, we all desire it, we all hope for it, so you might as well use it for yourself and try and get that for yourself. Does that make sense? Now, there's a couple of themes that are going to come through tonight, and the main one is a color combination, and this color combination is my favorite for manifesting and for manifestation. This color combination in crystals and in energy will always work together. Always work together. And these two together, it kind of works on the idea of always manifesting our heart's desire, always manifesting what it is that our heart really needs. And it's the combination of yellow and green. And especially in crystals, working with yellow and green, it is a really simple way of getting the manifestation connection, the leadership connection, the ability of going, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I desire, and this is how I'm going to make the decisions based on that. And listening to what the heart wants, listening to what the heart needs, opening the heart up to abundance, to the idea of abundance, to the possibility and the knowledge of an abundant life that we all deserve. And combining these two energies together, working with these two energies together in crystals is so good. Oh, hello. Of course, Laura is already onto it with the green and yellow. We as Australians are blessed with this green and yellow combination. Woo! See, exactly. Hello, we're all excited. And it's a really easy way of breaking down the idea of needing to manifest. If you overthink it, if you have the ability to overthink it, like many of us do, say, okay, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to get into my heart. I'm going to get into my gut, into my solar plexus and heart chakras, and go, what is that saying? What are they saying? What are they guiding me to do? And working with crystals in that realm is going to be really helpful. There are going to be a couple of exceptions to the rule, because there is a feeling of needing a little bit of patience, because these two can both work together to be quite exciting. But one, just for a bit of grounding and a bit of patience, is petrified wood, and the other one is moss agate. So if you need a little bit of patience in regards to, I know this is happening and I want this to happen and I'm working towards it, but it's gonna happen slowly, and that's really frustrating. If like you are vibing on that and you appreciate that energy, a bit of moss agate or a bit of petrified wood added into anything that you're doing or wearing them daily, working with them daily, is going to really help for just allowing things to happen around you. If you need to just be reminded of patience, just be reminded of the earth energy of getting into groundedness and practicality. Moss agate, petrified wood, both really helpful. Extra grounding, always smoky quartz, always helpful, always grounding. Think about red jasper, think about mookaite, think about brown tourmaline, just simple grounding stones. Don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it. But especially these two in regards to that idea of being grounded and actually being patient as well. Both of them have the energy of earth. Cleansing them and working with them with the earth is great. But I felt it very, very important to talk about these two grounding, patient stones for this energy. Like, I feel like we're all excited. I feel like we can all feel things sort of shifting and changing, but they're not happening quick enough. They're not happening as fast as we want them to. And the new moon in Virgo is going to give us a chance to work with that energy practically, to not get ahead of ourselves, but to still dream and to hope and to want big and amazing things. Because Virgo energy is a big dreamer. They really are big dreamers, but they still like to do earthly things. I hope that makes sense. So as I said, the color combination is green and yellow. There's a few really easy ones to work with, but very particularly there is actually a green moonstone, and there's also a stone called granurite, which is a green included moonstone energy. These both connect to what is known as the plantar moon. And because we're in the southern hemisphere, especially heading into the springtime period, it's a really important time to be planting ideas, placing ideas into the ground, watering them and allowing them to grow. Even if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's still important to plant ideas, to plant things for winter, to have things that are happening ahead of you, and to always be thinking a little bit ahead with what you're doing in the present. So green moonstone and granurite both work really, really well on that side of things without any yellow energy. They just give you that ability to understand those springtime cycles, those ability to know that things bloom, things die, things need a bit of preparation, things need a bit of nourishment and a little bit of help and guidance, a little bit extra watering sometimes before they're going to give us what we need and desire out of them. Does that make sense? I would argue, probably my favorite combination when it comes to green and yellow crystals to work with. They just vibe together in a really wonderful way. There's a lot that I'm going to talk about that are really perfect, that all work together really well. But there's just something about this combination that is really great to work with. And also it's really simple and affordable. Like, this is a combination that everyone can connect to and work with. And it's jade, green jade. This is a really deep, dark green Pakistani jade. But it doesn't matter. It could be greenstone, it could be jadeite, like really light, bright green jade. It could be, more this sort of shade. It doesn't matter as long as it's jade. And you pair that with pyrite. Pyrite and jade as a combination for manifestation is unrivaled as far as I'm concerned. And let me tell you why. Because mineralogically or gemologically, they both have really unique qualities that lend themselves energetically or esoterically to the idea of manifestation and creation. So our pyrite, this is a really unique octahedral sort of wacky version that comes from Peru, but usually it grows in cubes. It has a cubic growth and a cubic way of growing. So it gives us structure, support, organization, building blocks when it comes to manifestation and tapping into our solar plexus. It taps into the masculine, it taps into the creative, but it also has a bit of base energy. It has iron, a really heavy iron content, as well as the sulfur. So it's working between the base as well as the solar plexus. So it gives us a groundedness, it gives us a support, a practicality to work with. Does that make sense? That is paired with jade. Now, jade is easily one of the best heartstones that exists, that we can all work with, that all cultures around the globe have all realized at some point in time. Jade, mineralogically or gemologically, very interestingly, is known as the toughest mineral of all. Diamond, we all know, is known as the hardest because it has a hardness of 10. It is very hard from the outside. Jade, nephrite and jadeite both have an internal structure that is tougher than any other mineral on Earth. So it is the toughest mineral. So internally, it is strong. So it's giving us an internal strength, an internal gumption to know, to trust, to be able to manifest our heart's desires, needs, wants, and wishes. So together, they're giving us a really strong, secure, structured, bright, positive, amazing energy to work with. So if you have never done this before, worked with these two crystals to manifest before, please do. Please get out your jade and pyrite, work with them together, pop them together, get them to work together, ask them to work on your desires, your wishes, your dreams, pop them with your vision board, whatever, doesn't matter. Easy, simple, work with them, please and thank you. Both of them have a connection to the element of earth. Your pyrite is more connected to fire and the sun, so pyrite will be cleansed with the sun, jade with some earth. Right? How good is pyrite? Like, we in WA, I think especially, are really connected to it. But I think universally, it's gaining so much appreciation, and we love it. We love pyrite. It's so cool. There's really amazing Spanish pyrite, which I love, which is the really amazing cubic stuff you find. A lot of stuff in Australia, and especially in WA, a lot of pyrite is an indicator mineral for gold. So they actually utilize pyrite and they look for it so that they can find gold, which is cool. So it helps us to find gold almost. It's a bit of a metaphor for life. I also want to show you, this is just a notable piece, is this turquoise with pyrite. So I don't know if you can see the tiny little pyrite crystals just sparkling a little bit on this bit of turquoise. Really, really cool. Something a little bit unique, something a little bit different. Turquoise is not traditionally known as a manifestation crystal, but it's a really great stone to listen to our spiritual heart and what it wants and needs. So pairing it with pyrite is a really cool way of adding a bit of manifestation of our heart's desires, right? Really beautiful. This was a gift. So I don't actually know exactly of its location. It could be an American one, it could be a Persian turquoise, but it is totally natural and one of the coolest things that I am blessed to have in my collection. Now, I'm going to carry on if you're happy. Pyrite and flower agate, beautiful. We love it when pyrite gets involved in things. Actually, that's probably a good one to talk to, but that's okay. I'm going to carry on if you're happy for me to. The next one I want to talk about is, of course, citrine. Like, hello, if you're not working with citrine to manifest, what are you doing? Like, get your citrine out, work with it. It doesn't matter if it's natural or heat treated. As far as I'm concerned, I have no issue. The heat treated stuff for me is just more focused, but if you don't want to work with it, don't work with the natural. It's totally personal. I love citrine in all flavors. This is just one of my favorite pieces. This is a really beautiful Congo citrine, twinned. I have a lot of twinned pieces. It's one of those themes that I work with. Now, I'm going to talk about crystals in the same family. Working with crystals in the same family is going to enhance the way that they work with each other. It's going to enhance the way that they are creating and manifesting and doing all this good stuff for you. So I want you to think about green aventurine and citrine. Green aventurine, hello, exclamation mark. Green aventurine and citrine, of course, both in the quartz family, so both working together in the same structure, the same family, the same organization, the same sort of pattern. So they're already aligned with each other. They already know how to work with each other. They already are in sync with each other's energy, each other's vibration. So as far as we're with our manifestations, with our dreams, with our desires, with that ability to create and manifest, they're already aligned to each other to then work with us. So if you want to connect to a couple of crystals to work with that are really simple in the same family, then work with green aventurine and citrine and ask them to go, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what my heart is trying to create, this is what my gut is telling me I need to do. Help me to bring them together, help me to trust myself and know that it is okay to bring these desires into the physical realm. Citrine is wonderful because it's self-cleansing, it's not going to absorb any negative energy, but if it needs a charge, use the sun. Green aventurine is earth. This is a really beautiful type of green aventurine known as green tangerine, which is a green aventurine, high quartz content and a little bit of pyrite that actually comes from Tanzania. Yeah, think about the same family of crystals, but think about green and yellow. In your collection, we probably have citrine, we probably have green aventurine. This is another green aventurine. This is a Zimbabwean green aventurine that has pyrite in it as well. So another notable mention that I thought I would show off. Citrine, doesn't matter about the size, just think green and yellow, citrine and green aventurine. Simple. Now, if you want to take it to another level, which I'm blessed to, there is what is known as green Seraphis quartz or hidden bergite in quartz, or you could even use green chlorite or green fuchsite in quartz. Green crystals that are formed within quartz to give the quartz a green hue. You could work with those two together as well. Thwarts what she said. Funny. So that's just a simple one. Also, you've got prasiolite. If you've got prasiolite, you can pair that with your citrine as well. But because they're both in the quartz family, nice and easy. They're going to work together. Happy days. All right, I'm going to move on. Another couple of crystals in the same family. Emerald and Heliodor, two beryls all together in the same family. So we have the beautiful green and the beautiful yellow, beautiful green, beautiful yellow of the beryl family. And I will show you a couple of crystals as well, just to show you Emerald and Heliodor. Oh, goodness. In the beryl family, they form in hexagons. These hexagons are really powerful, strong, balanced energies that connect to the balance of masculine and feminine. The hexagon, the six-sidedness, gives us that alignment, gives us that structure, gives us that strength. So they're a really powerful way of just bringing balance into anything, working with the beryl family. We stand. So if you think about the idea of emerald being one of the best crystals that just bring through the idea of I am deserving of abundance. I am worthy. I am abundant. I own abundance. I am luxurious. I own 51% of this company, and I deserve opulence. Like, emerald is that energy of totally yes queening and really owning yourself and really loving that indulgence of giving yourself what you need. Heliodor is a really powerful masculine, divine masculine energy of the correct kind of leadership that a man should bring, or that masculine energy should bring. Heliodor shines like the sun. It wakes up in the morning, gets to its peak, and then goes to sleep. So it doesn't overdo it. It doesn't try too hard. It allows the balance of the feminine to work with it. They work really powerfully in harmony with each other as well as by themselves. But Emerald and Heliodor, if you can work with them together to manifest, you're going to bring through a really powerful strength and structure and idea of having balance to create it, not feeling like you're, being pulled in any direction, not feeling like your past is haunting you, not feeling like you need to rush into the future, knowing, again, that idea of being able to stay within the present and do what is necessary in the present moment. Does that all make sense, everyone? I'm going to carry on. The next one that I want to talk about is another pairing within the yellow and green. Now, this pairing I would recommend if you are ready to like really flip it, really change things, really make things happen, really like the cleansing of emerald is earth, and the cleansing of Heliodor without the E on the end for correct spelling is the sun, because Helios, Heliodor, named for Helios, the sun god. Cleanse with the sun, nice and easy. Heliodor, citrine, sunstone, all of those good ones. This is a really beautiful Ukrainian edged Heliodor that I was just lucky to receive. And this is a little Kilos. So the next couple that I'm going to talk about are, as I said, really ready to push you, really ready to transform you, and really ready to make you make things happen. And they are, of course, the two impactites or tektites, the two natural glasses caused by meteorite hitting the earth. They are, of course, Moldavite and Libyan desert glass. So here we have my adorable little Moldavite skull. Super cute. Natural on the back. Really beautiful. And one of my favorite pieces, Libyan desert glass. So Libyan desert glass is twice as old as Moldavite. Moldavite comes from the Czech Republic, Czechia. Libyan desert glass comes from the Sahara Desert Libyan region. There's like several thousand square kilometers where you can find this one especially. Approximately 27 million years ago is when the meteorite that created Libyan desert glass hit. It was then, I think half its life was then sort of buried again, and then it spent about 14 million years tumbling around the Sahara, just softening. That's why they have these sort of beautiful, soft, wavy patterns. They're much less harsh. They haven't been water etched like Moldavite has. They've just been worn by tumbling along in the sun and in the wind. We love Libyan desert glass because it brings an enlightened leadership. It brings the ability to understand the big picture in what you're trying to do for yourself and others, and the decisions that you're trying to make in those sorts of whys and wherefores, those questions that we have for ourselves where we sort of worry about how things are going to affect everyone. Libyan desert glass is very empowering for you, just making the decisions that you feel are right for yourself as well as everyone else. It sort of is, I would say, one of the best ones at like getting you out of your feelings, getting you out of your head at the same time, and allowing you to go, oh, this is why. I can take my hurtness, I can take any trauma out of the way. I can just go, okay, I just need to do this. It's that simple. For me, this is like a star, like a sun. It's still a sun energy, but it's like a star. So it's very cold. It doesn't bring any heat. It brings a cold brightness. It brings a distinct sense of almost far awayness in the best case. I love it. I love Libyan desert glass. And then your Moldavite is, of course, rapid spiritual transformation. It's going to really push the envelope, and it didn't crack or break. We like that. It's going to really shift things for you within you, and it's going to ask things to move along. It's going to move out of the way anything that no longer serves you, and together it really like blows out the cobwebs. It really shifts stagnancy, and it gives you the ability to feel quite empowered in making transformations and making shifts and being quite not feeling like you need to take everyone's sort of energy into account, but also knowing that it's about the big picture. I love them together. If you need a bit of groundedness, definitely a bit of petrified wood, because it comes with age, bit of smoky quartz, whatever. Anything nice and grounding if you need it. Both of them are technically cleansed with a meteor shower, but Libyan Desert Glass is more fire or sun connected. Moldavite is more storm element connected for cleansing. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to move on because I've got a few to talk about. The next one I'm going to talk about is the calcites. So green calcite is just going to clear out and open the heart in a really beautiful way so you can let amazing energy in. And then you pair it with honey calcite, or you are lucky enough to find a piece that has them together. But honey calcite or yellow calcite and green calcite together is a beautiful soft combination. It really is nurturing and nourishing and connects to supporting us and clearing away stuff that is in the way, and in the regard of sort of stagnancy and moving out of stagnancy. It's a very helpful little combination, and I find calcites are one of those minerals that are just compatible with everyone, really simple and easy to work with, really you don't have to try hard to connect with the calcites, I don't think. They're both fire and air element connected, unusually. So work with those elements for them. The next ones I'm going to move on to is the fluorites. So we step up from calcite into fluorite. This is moving in shape from a rhombohedron, something a little bit more sort of unusual and different and sort of spreads the energy out more differently, to a cubic energy like pyrite. Fluorite brings that structure, that support, that more distinct shape and energy. This is another really beautiful piece that's got a little bit of purple in it, but it is green and yellow. Green and yellow as a combination, as I said, easy to bring that manifestation into reality through the heart, through the element of earth, which is Virgo, which is what we're working with. This is a really beautiful golden fluorite, yellow fluorite, natural, that actually has pyrite on it. Comes from Morocco. Quite a cool one. Double yellow, so it's quite a buzzing little cluster. I love that one. I was excited to get that one into my collection. I find fluorite is another one that sort of blows out the cobwebs. It sort of opens us up and just goes, shh, like, let's just trust in what you know. Let's sort of get things happening, especially the yellow and the green together. Again, it doesn't have to be grown together. You don't have to have them together. If you find them together and they happen to be formed together, amazing. But if you need one of each, all good. If you only have, say, the citrine, pop it on a piece of green paper, get a picture cutout of an emerald, whatever, like balance it in a way that works for you if you don't have the crystals, but I like to give a few options just in case. The next one I want to talk about is a crystal, and I'm going to talk about a couple of crystals that kind of combine the energy of green and yellow together. Notably, peridot. Peridot has that very vibrant greeny yellow color. I have a piece here. You can sort of see the greenness on my white shirt. But peridot is truly an abundant energy. It truly lets us see the world more abundantly. It takes away that sort of fearful aspect and opens us up to possibility and worthiness and seeing the abundance around us and taking us away from the distraction of the negative. I adore peridot. I think it's so wonderful to work with. I think it's enlivening. I think it's zingy and zesty and bright. Like it's like a lime. It's just got that zinginess and that brightness. And one of my favorite things in the whole world is what is known as, in Southeast Asia and especially Thailand, lemon juice. and it is technically limes, and they just so much lime juice, just an amazing amount of fresh lime juice, a little bit of sugar syrup and ice, and it is the most refreshing, delicious, perfect. It's just my favorite thing in the world. Just one of my most favorite things in the world. Lime juice, lemon juice. You just go, here's 50 baht, here's $2. Can I have a lemon juice, please? Frozen, walking around. Oh, it just. Anyway, it's a very expensive thing to do here because limes are not cheap. It doesn't cost you $2 here. So peridot is a great way of, I do digress, working with a zingy, bright energy, an enlivening energy, an uplifting energy, hopeful, excited, possible. When we want to manifest, we don't want to doubt, we don't want to question, we don't want to get anxious and stress. We want to trust, we want to allow, we want to know that the universe is working with us so that it can happen for us and happen for us more quickly. Does that make sense? And more earth energy, but earth and fire kind of together is peridot. The next one I'm going to talk about is pre-night. Next on the list, peridot. Absolutely. Now, this is a really wonderful nodule of prehnite that comes from the Northern Territory that has a natural ironstone casing. So, sort of would have literally been like a little nodule with this beautiful, vibrant, like it's just, oh, isn't it just delicious? Prehnite is a bringer of peace, a bringer of harmony, balances the heart, mind, and spirit. It brings a connection to nature, which I find really beautiful. But this I find, especially in regards to the idea of creating and manifesting, it gives us the idea to sort of be in the flow of what nature is telling us, be in the flow of the seasons, of what's happening around us, the energy of what others are showing us and reflecting. It sort of push and pull. It gives us the ability to find a bit of order amongst the chaos. So I find it a really positive crystal to work with for manifestation, a really great crystal to work with on a day-to-day basis, to be quite honest. But really beautiful, really, really beautiful, especially in regards to not overthinking things, not finding things to nitpick and worry and stress about. It's like, no, things are happening, whatever, I'm going to deal with what I'm going to deal with. I'm going to focus on what I'm going to focus on. So, pre-night, bring a bit of peace and calm and serenity in the situation. Allow the universe to do its thing for you, with you, alongside of you. You're not separate, but you kind of need to let things happen. Another earth energy for cleansing. There's another really wonderful one that we can work with, and that's serpentine. Again, vivid greeny yellow. Serpentine, literally, like the snake, sheds skin, leaves it behind, allows us to slither on forward, allows us to burn and cleanse and be transformed and transfigured and freed from burdens and heaviness that we've carried. It brings the energies of fire and earth together. So it really works together on working with the element of earth, but also that fiery manifestation, which we adore. I love working with serpentine when it comes to transforming, when it comes to shifting and moving things on so you can move forward. So again, when you feel a bit stuck, when you're working with a bit of stagnancy, when you need that self-healing energy that comes from the snake is telling you about healing yourself. It is, if it's showing itself to you, if it's coming to your life, if you have it around you, it's a sign of the healer. It's a sign of healing yourself. It's a sign of needing healing, shedding our skin. So serpentine, super easy to work with. If you need to, we have what is known as Atlantisite, which is stick-tight serpentine, which you can get, which comes from Tasmania. these are just a couple of really cool serpentines, particularly called lizardite, which is just I think it's just a more fine version. There's another really wonderful crystal family that has that sort of blended yellow. That's another earth and fire together, by the way. And yes, I love serpentine. It's one of those wonderful ones to work with. Now, apatite. You may not see a lot of difference here, but these ones here are golden yellow apatite. And this one here is technically more green. Technically. The energies of apatite are inspiring. The energies of apatite are really awakening from within. They are, I find them really exciting. I find them really positive, uplifting, that like cheerleader type energy, that constant positivity, always positive kind of person energy. It really brings that out. It really works with that. So if, especially the idea of doubt and worry and stress and unsurety comes through, the apatites really work together in a powerful way. A lot of you may know of the blue apatite, common. We know about the blue apatite, but we also have golden and green apatites. There's fluorapatites, this really beautiful purple color. There's a whole range, but together, these two, the green and yellow, really uplifts, really excites, really brings that positivity. And again, because in the Southern Hemisphere, we're shifting out of winter into a more warm spring energy. We're trying to get the body moving, get the energy shifting. Your apatites are wonderful, wonderful to work with, both working with fiery energies. And I think the green has a little bit of the earth too. Gonna keep moving forward. There's quite a couple of special ones I'm going to talk about really quickly. This is Brazilianite. Brazilianite in regards to manifesting in that beautiful green and yellow, bright, zesty color. Brazilianite for me formulates direction. It formulates a plan. It brings it into being. It sort of combines the energy of, it's like calculated risk. You know, I'm thinking about it, but also I'm just trusting my gut. I'm trusting my instincts. I'm trusting sort of a bit of luck. The universe has my back here. It's a bit of being in the right place at the right time. Saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to do that. I find Brazilianite really quite an interesting one to work with. But yeah, apatite, there's a whole range of colours that it comes in. The things you learn as a gemologist. The next one, and these are both fire and earth stones as well. This next one is chrysoberyl. Tiny little sparkly, amazing little thing, beautiful little greeny yellow. It's not going to focus, unfortunately. I don't think. No, it doesn't want to do it. A little bit. So, chrysoberyl, many of you may know of alexandrite. Alexandrite is a type of chrysoberyl. Chrysoberyl is also the OG cat's eye. If something is a cat's eye stone, a proper cat's eye stone, it should only be a chrysoberyl. If it has anything else, if it's anything else, it should say cat's eye, whatever. Cat's eye tourmaline, cat's eye emerald, whatever. But if it's a cat's eye, it'll be a chrysoberyl. So chrysoberyl is really loved and has been loved throughout history because it's a stone that's quite hard and strong. It's equal to your emeralds, your beryls. It's in that 8, and it has a really high dispersion. So when the light hits chrysoberyls, it really shoots out in all shapes, in all colors, in all directions, and it really is bright and it really is beautiful to look at, especially when they're cut. So they hold and they reflect light back. So they take it in and show it back. So it's energetically, it allows us to sort of bring in that inspiring energy and send it out in a different way. Does that make sense? So really quite a powerful little energy to work with. This will be a Brazilian chrysoberyl. They are rare, they're hard to find, quite expensive. One of those ones, if you find it, get it. It's been a really long time since I've seen any chrysoberyl in person other than that one. But yeah, look it up. Look up the Sixling Twin, Sixlang Twin, Sixling Twin, which this one is. But if you look up some close-up macro shots, oh, they look amazing. Couple more that I'm going to quickly chat about before I move on. This is yellow without any green, but it's a wonderful one to work with because it works with the solar plexus, the base, and the sacral together. Bumblebee stone. We love bumblebee stone because it gets to work. It helps us to make things happen, do things. It helps us to know our jobs, and it helps us to focus on them. It gives us a bit of a grounding energy and then empowers us, helps us to feel encouraged. It helps us to feel positive. It helps us to feel driven by a bit of action and focus. So bumblebee stone is awesome to work with. Let me just check. The last one I'm going to quickly chat about is green garnet. There's a few green garnets that I have that I'm going to show you. So this is a cute, you can see that little green garnet on quartz here. This is a Queensland little green garnet cluster. It's quite a dark, deep green. You can see those beautiful shapes. This is a tumbled African grossular green garnet, which is forms in a massive sort of way, more like rose quartz as opposed to in those crystals. And then these two are Savarite or mint garnet, Savarite garnet, and Uvarovite or chrome garnet. And this one is Russian, and this one is East African. All of your green garnets, for me, really unlock the worthiness of abundance. I am worthy, I own it, I'm allowed it, I'm going to buy that thing, I'm going to have that thing, I'm not going to worry about that other thing, I'm not going to feel constrained by poverty consciousness anymore. I'm shifting myself into worthiness, I'm shifting myself into knowing I'm allowed to have this abundance, have this good, have all of these things, like living in the energy that you want so that you can bring it towards you even closer, so that you can manifest it faster. The law of attraction works much, much quicker when you live in the energy as opposed to working towards it. Like if you already believe yourself as being abundant, you bring the abundance in as opposed to thinking that you need to work towards being abundant. Does that make sense? That's really how it works. And green garnet really unlocks that because it secures us. It feels safe and nurtured. It helps us to feel and know that we're always going to be looked after. We'll always be safe. We'll always be taken care of. So we can follow our heart's desires. We can follow our heart's needs. We can dream, wish, hope, and make these things happen. So I love green garnets. They're wonderful to work with. You don't need big ones to get a lot of energy from them. Oh, and one more, and it's not green or yellow, but it's carnelian. Especially for springtime, especially for new ideas, for creating, for focusing on the things that you're doing. Get your carnelian out because it is a helpful stone. So that's it. Those are all the crystals. That's all the energy around the new moon. I hope that makes sense. As I said, it's very much about sort of putting into action what our heart wants and needs, putting into action the things that we've been thinking about, clearing out the stagnancy, clearing out the dust, shifting off what is no longer serving you, what is sort of holding you back, and giving yourself permission to sort of shift and move forward, to create, to do the thing, as I like to say. Does anyone have any questions before I finish off? I would also throw in something like flower agate would actually be a nice crystal to work with as well, because it nourishes that idea of growth and newness. You could also work quite beautifully with clear quartz, because clear quartz is always going to be programmable, so it can work towards different tasks. If you want to watch this back, I will share it to my Facebook wall, to my IGTV, and to my YouTube. Had to think about that. And if you want to share it, if you want to tag your friends, anything like that, please do. I will, of course, be back on Sunday morning for weekly oracle readings. We will see what the week has to bring, especially with the new moon. If anyone would like to book in for a reading, please private message me. I have plenty of availability through September. Not a lot of weekend availability, but a little bit through the week, because I have quite a few workshops and lots of workshops and exciting stuff coming up as well. Yes, absolutely. I do mediumship, and I do talk to loved ones that have passed over in my readings. If you'd like to send me a private message, I can explain that further. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves, look after yourselves, work towards what you're manifesting this new moon. There's lots of exciting things happening, and hopefully this gives you a bit of sort of inspiration for yourself to get onto it, get into it, and make things happen. Have a wonderful evening. Peace out. Namaste. Stay safe and stay sane. Lots of love. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone.